Hey guys, welcome to Ruthy's Reading Room. I'm Ruthy, and this is my buddy Jaw. He's my favorite stuffy, and he's joining us for story time today. I'm so glad you could be here with us. We're always happy to share stories with you. Now, if you're ready, sit tight. If not, run and go get your stuffy or blankie and come back and meet us in your favorite reading corner. Run and come back now. All right, my friends, I see you're coming back and settling in to listen to the story, which I love. You're already getting into the routine. So while you do that, let's ask the question, what is it? Which book is coming off the shelf next? Let's find out, okay, John? All right. Here it is. There are elephants in my apartment. Elephants in Harlem. This book was written and illustrated by Dr. S.D. Brooks. Now, Dr. Brooks and I have been in touch a bunch, and we are both excited to have this story read right here on Ruthy's Reading Room. So I just want to give a little shout out. All right, now that we know the book, let's make sure we're ready, okay? Let's put our listening ears on and put our hands in our laps. And today, just because there's an animal in this one, I'll use the flamingo to see if you're ready to go. Okay. Here we go. Oh, yeah, you guys are good to go. Hi, Allison. Hi. Hello. Oh, hi, Bunny. How are you doing? I'm so happy to see you there. Oh, good. Oh, and you're sitting nice and quiet. Very good. Okay, all my friends, let us begin. Now, what would you do? There are elephants in my apartment. What would you do if you had an elephant where you live? If it's an apartment or a house, I don't think it would really matter. I'm not sure an elephant could fit. How would you take care of it? Do you know what elephants eat? How they sleep or where? That'd be a toughie. Now, what can you tell me about an elephant? Yeah, they have a trunk. Yeah, I never could make the elephant sound. Do, 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 do. What else? Big floppy ears. Yeah. They are friends with mice. We do see that a lot. Yep. And yes, they have those big white tusks. All right, you guys know quite a few things already. Now let's see what this book is all about. Okay? All right. My name is Rachel, and I live in Harlem, New York. I am so sad that I have no brothers or sisters to play with, and I often feel very lonely. One dark and rainy weekend, I was home with my mother and had nothing to do. Rain, rain, go away, come back another day. Do any of you have those moments where you're bored, maybe feeling lonely, and it's raining? I yelled at the ceiling, "Mommy, I'm so bored! What can I do today?" I asked. Well, you can read a book. I like this mom's thought. Play with your toys, or even better, clean up your room, said Mom. Arg, I sighed as I pretended to faint. There came a knock at the door. Who is it? My mommy asked. Mailman, I have a package for Miss Rachel Daniels. That's me, I said, and raced to the door. Ooh, who loves getting mail? Who has received a lot of mail? Or maybe their mommy and daddy have ordered lots on in the last little bit? Maybe. My mommy signed for the package. There were many colorful stamps from all around the world on the box. Oh, the package is from your Grandpa George. It came from Africa. Your grandfather still works as an explorer for an organization called the Protection of International Wildlife. An explorer? Like in the cartoons? I giggled. Well, in a way, yes, she smiled. Wouldn't that be cool, being an explorer? My mother explained, when I was younger, Dad traveled the world. He shared the importance of saving each nation's indigenous animals, including here in the Americas. Do you know what indigenous means? Some say that your grandpa was way ahead of his time. My mom laughed as she remembered the past. Your grandfather was funny. Although most of the people Dad encountered spoke English, he would always end every presentation in that country's native language, reciting the same mantra: animal conservation is a massive effort. As humans, we must all do our part. Now he is assisting countries in the development of their very own wildlife preservations. What's a preservation? Preservation is protected land for animals to live on, maintained by the public. The community assures that all animals are safe from pollutants and people who want to hunt them, like poachers. They provide native food and vegetation. Plus, there's a veterinary clinic and learning center on site. Wow, I said. Mommy helped me open the box, and inside it was a shiny silver cage. And inside the cage were two half-dollar sized toy elephants and a letter. My dear Rachel, I love you so much, honey bunch. When I was in Africa, I stayed with a tribe who had been friends with elephants since the beginning of time. The elephants were so grateful for their love and kindness that each year they gave them 3 special tiny elephants. Here are 2 for you, Buckaroo. Have fun and see you soon. Love, Grandpa. I love Grandpa George. Aw. As my mother read the letter, I opened the cage and gently placed the 2 small elephants in my hand. They felt and looked so real. Their skin was rough, wrinkly, and hairy. Their ears were thin and leathery. I thought I saw one blink at me with its long eyelashes, but these were the size of toys. They can't be real, I whispered. When I was younger, I saw a real-life baby elephant during a school trip to a rather sad-looking zoo, but it didn't fit in my hand. Cool toys, I said. You have to call your grandfather and thank him, my mother said. Yes, Mom. All day I played with my new toys, and I imagined we were in the jungles of Africa with my Grandpa George. I decorated the cage with leaves from my mom's potted plants. Then I placed dirt on the floor of the cage with a teacup full of water. When it was time for bed, I placed the cage on my bedroom nightstand and went to sleep. She's doing well taking care of them, eh? That night, I had a dream that the elephants came to life. They started eating the plants and drinking the water. When I awoke the next morning, the elephants appeared to be sleeping. Even stranger, some of the water and leaves were missing. There were elephant footprints in the dirt. Rachel, breakfast, my mother yelled from the kitchen. Just then, both elephants opened their eyes. I shrieked in shock, and my mom quickly ran to my rescue. What happened? She asked. Look, they are alive, I said in complete shock. What would you do, or what would your mom or dad say if you had real-life elephants in a little cage? Oh my goodness, I would be shocked too. Probably speechless. My mom took a double take, then cried out in surprise. Wait, there are elephants in my apartment! Surprise soon turned into anger. Real, live, pooping, eating, growing elephants. Not just one, but 2. Are you kidding me? Wow, unbelievable, Dad, my mom whispered. How are we going to take care of elephants in Harlem, Mommy? Come, let's look on the internet and find out what to feed them, she said. Oh, she's very understanding. We learned that elephants are herbivores, which means they only eat fruit and vegetables. While we couldn't find African acacia, sausage, or baobab trees in Harlem, we were able to find cabbage, lettuce, apples, and watermelon. Elephants love to walk for long distances, so we let them roam free. The apartment is always kept at a nice and toasty temperature. Also, we learned that we had a girl and a boy elephant. I named them Little Rachel and Little George after my grandfather. The next day is show and tell. Usually my show and tell is a picture I drew on the bus, but this time I have the coolest show and tell ever, my mini mighty elephants, Little George and Little Rachel. That Monday, I placed a soft blanket in an old basket of mine and walked to school. I would be pretty excited if I had mini elephants for show and tell. What do you guys take to show and tell? Yeah? Yeah, that's good. Like a medal? Everyone was so amazed to see my teeny tiny elephants. I shared with the class how my grandfather, the explorer, gave me 2 mini African elephants to keep me company. I told them how my Grandpa George worked for the protection of international wildlife. There, he helped build awareness to endangered species, such as lions, tigers, elephants, and even whales. The class was in awe and had so many questions. Lil Rachel and Lil George are nice, smart, and playful. After school, we play their favorite games. They love to play basketball and hide and go seek. Every night we cuddle together as my mom reads us a bedtime story as we fall asleep. Although they are my best friends, they are also a big responsibility. 3 times a day, I have to feed and clean their potty area where they do their number one and two. Their poop is called dung, and they dung a whole lot, I said, and all in the class laughed. Next, we played peekaboo in front of the class. Since the elephants don't bite, my teacher allowed them to be passed around the classroom. My classmates each had a chance to feed, touch, and play with the elephants. Everyone was laughing and having a great time, including the elephants. I continued to share funny stories with the class about my awesome adventures with my new friends. The day was the best day ever. I was about to walk home when I remembered my mother said she would pick us up in front of the school. Immediately, I saw my mom and gave her a big hug. Mrs. Daniels, Mrs. Daniels. Great, what a pleasant surprise. It was my teacher, Miss Ali, yelling, smiling, and waving frantically at us. So we did the same thing back. We yelled, smiled, and waved frantically while my mom called out Miss Ali's name. Thank you for allowing Rachel to show and tell her most unique friends today. I spoke briefly with the principal about the tiny elephants. We would love for you to host an informative and fun presentation to the whole school about the endangered African elephants, please. Of course, I would love to. Every generation must understand the importance of taking care of our natural wildlife and habitats, my mom answered ecstatically. Later that week, the school held a special assembly. My mom, the elephants, and I arrived at the school together. Dad took a cab from work and was right behind us. My mom showed pictures of endangered and vulnerable animals from all around the world. This is largely due to climate changes, loss of natural habitat, pollution, and poachers. Elephants are endangered because they are being hunted for their tusks. We did name that as one of the things we knew about an elephant, didn't we? Tusks are the 2 long incisor teeth found on both sides of an elephant's mouth. Another name for tusks is ivory. Long ago, ivory was used for fake teeth and piano keys. Today, its greatest use is in jewelry and artwork, my mom explained to the assembly. Next, every student received a card with a picture of Lil Rachel and Lil George on the front. Inside the card was information about how to adopt an African elephant. So they learned a lot about endangered elephants and then got some information about how they could help. The next day, the school was all abuzz with excitement. Everyone was chatting about the elephant assembly. I became a mini celebrity. Our principal decided the entire school would adopt 1 elephant for the entire year. We raised money by having art, jewelry, and bake sales throughout our school and community. In social studies, we learned that there are 2 main types of elephants, the Asian and African elephants. We learned about the species of elephants in science class. In art class, we made pictures, hats, and masks of elephants. Every grade wrote letters to the protection of international wildlife, thanking them for saving the elephants of the world. It was elephant mania all over school. I love that. That's so good. The whole school took on the cause to help protect elephants. By the end of the school year, my school raised enough money to adopt 2 elephants in Africa and 2 in Asia. Wow, they did an amazing job. My grandfather was asked to visit and accept the check from the school to the protection of international wildlife. Grandpa spoke about his job as an explorer. At the end of his speech, he asked how many students would be interested in a career rescuing and raising awareness about endangered animals. Most of the school raised their hands, including me. My grandfather started to cry. I thought he was sad, so I ran up on stage to hug him. My beautiful granddaughter, these are tears of joy. I'm so proud of you. Do you see how one person can make a big difference in the world? Do you, my little readers? Always pay attention to the message in the book, okay? Even a little girl from Harlem, Grandpa? Especially a little girl from Harlem, Rachel. And just like that, a little girl from Harlem and her tiny elephants became future wildlife conservationists of the world. The end. There's a picture of Lil Rachel and Lil George. I like this story. I like how we learned about elephants and how important it is to do what we can to protect endangered species. And there's a lot of them out there that need our protection. So we also have to do our part, right? In taking care of the world we live in the space that we live in, by not littering, by not wasting water, all those things that we can do to help out in our own little way. So I thank you again, little readers, for joining me in Ruthy's reading room. I hope you enjoyed this story. And don't forget to check in the description below. There'll be a link to where you can purchase your very own copy of this book. This one right here. That's right. And remember, the best place to read is wherever you are with a book. Right, John? Yeah. You liked this one with the elephants, didn't you? All right. If you enjoyed reading with us today, don't forget to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so you can read with us again next time. All right. Happy reading, little readers. Bye.
Ruthy's read it.